What we're going to do, we're going to go over the procedures for the phone bank, job action guide for an operator for the phone bank, and then some frequently asked questions that we'll have generated for whatever the scenario is. And then we'll split up into a whopping 2 groups of people and run through our scenario. One person being the caller and the other person being the operator, then we'll switch. And if y'all want to critique our run through of it with any ideas that you may have to better the process, then we'll do that at the end. So, procedures for operating the phone bank. Our exercise will start with a call down drill of public health emergency staff and staff that will operate the phones. Those staff will be determined before each drill event or exercise. So each quarter we have a call down, and the call down is essentially notifying our emergency staff of an emergency that they need to report to Galveston County Health District. These are all the drills, of course. And we also call our MRC, and we're essentially seeing how quickly they could assimilate here. So it's a survey that will say, this is a drill, Galveston County Health District. If you can report to the Mid-County Annex in 15 minutes, press 1. If you can report in 30 minutes, press 2, and so on. After the call down, staff will be given information on where to gather. So for this, we would actually gather in the boardroom next door, where we have phone jack hookups and Wi-Fi connections. Then once everyone's gathered, we'll brief everybody on the current event, and everybody will be assigned a phone to monitor and operate. And once they've taken their place at the phone, we'll go through a just-in-time training. And a just-in-time training is the job action sheet, essentially going through, you will answer the phone, you will tell them this based on our frequently asked questions sheet or based on a predetermined script. Obviously not being a robot, but these are most of the questions that you'll be faced with. And if you don't know the answer, just raise your hand or that's on here. The phone staff will record down the caller's questions and the caller's contact information. And then if they don't know the question, there's 3 different colored cards that the staff can raise. The white card would be if they have a question for the caller and they can't answer it. The yellow card would be for a call pertaining to vital statistics, and the blue card would be for a Spanish interpreter. And we've pre-identified those personnel. Then a representative from either emergency preparedness or epidemiology and vital statistics will continually monitor the phone bank, because those will be the individuals responding to the white, blue, or yellow cards. And then we'll demobilize the phone bank. That would be at the very conclusion of a drill, for sure. An exercise, we're probably going to keep the phone bank open until the matter has ceased, or everybody is sick and we can't man the phone bank. And then once we've demobbed, we will debrief and do a hot wash. And hot wash is going over what went well, what didn't go well, what we can improve upon. So, what does a phone bank operator do? This is on the second page. They'll be answering all incoming calls while the phone bank is set up. They will record the caller's name, phone number, and address, as well as the questions. And the reason why we do that is if you're faced with a question or comment where you need to return a phone call, you have it there, rather than, oh crap, how am I going to get back in touch with this person? Because I don't know if our phones have like the caller ID, so I'm sure it does. Let's see. Request assistance if they're not able to answer the phone call, help demob the phone bank, and participate in the debrief.
I had a question.
Yeah.
You mentioned on both pages, request assistance if you were unable to answer a question. And one of the cards was the yellow card for the vital statistics program. What sort of issue constitutes yellow card to get vital statistics?
So it could be that they are honestly trying to get a hold of vital statistics, and they're stuck with us. So
Oh, I see.
that's why they would be there.
Okay.
But it could also be pertaining to like birth certificates or other information that they house. So it's just there, that way we don't have to worry about, let me transfer you to vital statistics or anything like that.
Okay, got it. So, yeah, they're not interested in our answers related to whatever the hot topic is. They won't just want to get to vital
Right,
statistics.
right.
Got it. Okay.
But whenever we do this drill, we will be testing the capability of, making sure we can transfer out and hold and all that stuff. Because to my knowledge, the phone bank here hasn't been tested in quite some time. So we need to make sure that the phones can do all these things. We have a 2.5-page frequently asked question guide. More or less, we get these from the state and CDC, along with local collaboration with, EPI teams and emergency preparedness teams in the region. So some frequently asked questions could just be like jurisdictional, asking about like maybe transportation from the island to Bolivar, or something about the island, or something not really pertaining to like specifically the outbreak itself.
Excuse me, are we getting ready to implement this? Is that why we're doing it? Or what?
Yes,
Okay.
so we're going to be doing a phone bank drill at the beginning of March, and we are going over our plan more or less with y'all to make sure it's A-okay.
Are we going to be the volunteers to staff?
So,
this?
for the drill, we're gonna ask if you're free between, I think it's 9:20, 9:25. I'll send out an email to verify that, to call in to the main number. That way we can test the surge capacity of our phones. Because we've also identified individuals, staff, to call the phone lines, and we already have people who would be working the phones identified, so.
And the thing about the phone bank, of course, we don't have enough staff here to man the phone banks if we go into 2 shifts. So we're definitely gonna need,
Volunteers?
yes,
Okay.
to help us
Gotcha.
man that phone bank, because we'll get swamped in easily.
Yeah.